What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a either 96 or 97. Let me find out. Should be right here. Yep, it's a 97. Oh well, y'all can see that if I can get y'all out of the shadow. But yeah, it says 97. It's the 1500 GMC Sierra, and what we're actually going to be doing a water pump on here. I actually rebuilt this engine about 5 years ago, and he's put a good bit of miles on it since then. But we did a complete rebuild, like new heads, pistons, all the good stuff. We bored it and all that, and it's been running good ever since. I know he's changed just a couple little things, you know, distributor cap and stuff like that and all the good stuff. But he had a water pump leaking on this recently, and I noticed he was leaking some coolant, so I'm gonna get to changing the water pump. It's not leaking bad. You can see still got some coolant down in there, but it is a little low. So let me gather all my tools and everything, and I'll show you how we're going to take this thing off. First things first, what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull this battery cable right here up and out. This little clip shouldn't be broken, but they do break. Then we're going to take the upper radiator shroud off. Where we're going to do this is there should be 3 10mm on top and then 2 down here on the bottom on each side. I have if I put a socket on here. But it might be a little windy today, like I was saying. Yeah, it's going to be really windy, so sorry about all the background noise on that. But like I was going to tell y'all, I did rebuild this engine about 5 years ago. He had over 300,000 on this engine, and it was going strong, and then he burned a valve on the driver's side, like really bad burn it. Melted about half the valve off of it, which was pretty serious. He wasn't far from his house when it happened. I went out there and checked that, and he didn't have any compression. I told him, I said, it felt like you burn a valve. I said, crunk up just fine. It wasn't really smoking that bad. It was just backfiring into the intake. You burn a intake valve. But I pulled the head off and it burned up, and he actually got a set of rebuilt heads for this cheaper than he could actually fix the heads, and they were completely pretty much brand new heads. So we went that route and sent the old ones in as a core charge. But we put all new pistons, put all new heads on it, wrist pins, rings, all that good stuff, a new cam, lifters, turned the existing crank, all that good stuff. And he's been running it the last 5 years, no issues, which I am very thankful for. The machine shop did a really good job on it for me too. It's the same machine shop I take everything to. Good prices, and they're really reliable. And he sends me some business my way as well. Come on, get off of there. But luckily this is a 2-piece fan shroud on this. And once you get, what is it, 7 bolts out, you have to move it around a little bit. Radiator hose, but you should be able to pull it out no problem. That's the biggest issue, is your radiator hose. And now you can see here's our fan. Clutch don't seem too bad on it. And I'm going to leave the belt on, because what we're going to do, we're actually going to use a fan clutch tool and this one uses the actual air hammer to do so, and we'll use the pressure of the belt to actually hold it while we knock it loose. They do make manual ones you can rent, and you can do this and take it off. I know some people, they'll put a actual pipe wrench on here and you can hit it and it should knock it off. And this should be a standard thread clutch. I think you just do it to the left and it should knock it off. For anybody who's wondering, this is a 36mm nut on here. So here's the one I'm using. It is an entire kit and comes with the bar, goes on your air hammer. And I may have to do it like that, just so I get a good bite on it. There it went. Sometimes they can be a little stubborn. I'll put that tool up in the description for anybody who has an air compressor and air hammer, because it makes it way easier to do. Also, I want to leave the belt on while I take these 4 10mm nuts off of the pulley, because it will hold it and make it a lot easier for you as well. Now, if you got an impact gun, you can use it to do that. There it goes. Sometimes you can jolt them loose if you just do it real quick. Just want to make sure they're all loose. We'll check all those pulleys when we take it off, because it looks like this one may be separating a little bit. It could just be the way it looks. Alright, they're all loose, so now we're going to take the belt off. Tensioner is right here. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Tensioner is right here under the alternator. I think you just used a 3/8 ratchet. Yep. And pull the belt off. I'll just take it off the water pump and kind of leave it around everything else. This pulley's good. It's just the way the washer on it was throwing it off a little bit. Now you can take this pulley off. Should be good to go on that, and then we'll take all the hoses off too. I haven't started draining the radiator yet. I don't even know where the drain valve is on this one. But it's over here on the driver's side, on the very bottom on this one. I'll show it to you in just 1 second. Let me get this pulley off. Yeah, got a dirt dauber nest right there, but I don't know how well you can see down in there. Not too bad right there. But let me show y'all where that drain valve is. Okay, right here is the drain. You just turn it that way. You see how I did it? I turn it to the driver's side, and then it should start coming out. But I got to get a drain pan underneath there and start draining this. And while we're letting it drain, we can actually start taking this heater hose right here off. Just be careful, don't jolt it around too much. That way you don't bend the aluminum on it. And I think it molds, yeah, right here. Get y'all over there. It's right there. It's got a bracket as well. And be careful, because this other line goes into the intake, into these dreaded GM style fittings right there. They break about 99% of the time. So let me get a drain pan and start draining this. Got the coolant drain. Now I'm going to start taking off some of these hoses. There's one right here. I know you probably can't really see that, but it's just a standard worm gear clamp. Hoping that it goes good. which it's not. I'm gonna have to get a new clamp. Yeah, new clamp, because that one just separated, which it is pretty old anyway. So I'll try to get it off somehow. I have to probably break it or cut it or something. But there's one down here too. Hopefully this one's a little bit better. Because I really don't want to cut two of them. This one seems to be doing a lot better. But I still may replace it because it's wanting to separate, which is not a bad thing if you replace them. Come on. Trying to get it off enough to where I can slide it down over the hose. There's that. Try to separate it from the water pump. Sorry if I'm moving y'all around because I got y'all on the lower fan shroud. I know they make hose picks for this, but I got my screwdriver on me at the moment. Come on. Get off of there. It's coming, just slowly. I do have my drain pan underneath here too to catch anything that comes out. Alright, now we got that out, we should have 4 bolts. There'll be 2 on this side, 2 right there. And I'm going to pull it out and then try to take it off on this hose. Move the belt a little bit. See if I can get this. Maybe break. It's moving. There we go. Yeah, that one right there was shot, so now we should be able to snake the water pump out from around this, and then we'll see what the gaskets look like on there. And I don't know what size that is right off the top of my head. I think that was 5 years ago I worked on this thing. Let's say like 13 or 14. 14. Decent little guess. Get the bolts out. Here they are. Now you can see the water pump is loose. Oh, forgot all about that one. Didn't see it because I didn't. That one's coming apart too, I see. Yay. I'll need 3 hose clamps. See if I can get this one to break free as well. Alright. If you use a screwdriver, just be careful, because you don't want to cut the hose. Yeah, that one's stuck on there pretty good. probably gonna change this hose back there too, because it was so crusty. Yeah, the back of it's pretty torn. That could have been where the water was coming from, but we don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that hose as well. I'll get another one coming. Find out where it is. See how much it is. But I can definitely tell it was coming down the block though. Whenever it was running. I'm thinking the water pump and the hose right here were both leaking. That come off a lot easier on that side. But yeah, you can see, yeah, there's a hole right there. Yeah, we'll get this coming along with some new hose clamps. I think I got hose clamps, I ain't worried about that. Alright, now we're gonna clean off all this right there. And I do have the new water pump and coolant, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm just going to run in and go ahead and order that new hose. While I'm waiting on the parts to get here, I figure I'd show you some of the other part numbers of the stuff I already have. Here's the water pump. It is a Murray, brand new, no reman or anything like that. But CP5077. Then we got just like True Raleigh brand Dex-Cool 50/50. If I need to add a little bit more, I think I do have a little bit of Dex-Cool already in there, but I just got this just to make sure it was already pre-mixed. And we got the hose coming, and we got some new hose clamps. So once all that gets here, I like to put that hose on first because it is a little bit harder to get to with it behind the water pump. So I don't want to put this on just yet. And this water pump did come with gaskets already. I'll go ahead and show that to you real quick. And there they are. They are just like the little paper gaskets. And then the water pump is right there. It's stuck in the box a little bit and it's hard to get out one-handed. But we're going to wait on the rest of the stuff to get here, and then once it gets here, we'll start putting it back together. Our parts came in, and here is the other hose. Right there it is, a Gates 19025. So I'm going to throw this on first, and I do have some hose clamps right here. I'm going to put on there, but I'm going to put this piece on first before I put the water pump on. And I did clean off the water pump surfaces. And on the threads, I am going to put some of this Permatex thread seal. It does have PTFE in there. Part number on that is 80632. I was out of it, so I got some more of that. I like to put this on water pump bolts because this way it kind of keeps coolant from coming out. And I know some, I can't remember if the small block Chevys and 4.3s do this, but I know some cars, they go into water jackets or go into the block where water circulates. So I like to put some on there just to be safe. I got the two upper hoses on now, and I got 3 of the 4 bolts torqued on here, so I'm going to torque this last one. I didn't want to bore y'all with torquing all of them, but they torque to 33 foot-pounds. I have this set at 35 just because I do have a little bit of an extension on here. And come on, there it goes. Alright, now that we know we got all of them torqued down, all I got left to do is put this lower radiator hose on, and then I can start putting the fan on. Oh, well, I gotta put the pulley, then the fan, then the belt. Before I put the fan on, I wanted to show everybody the orientation of the belt just in case you forgot. So I start at the alternator, goes from alternator under the idler over the AC compressor down to around the power steering pump, then comes back up and runs off the back of the belt on the water pump, then around, comes down around the harmonic balancer, and then up to the tensioner. So kind of show y'all that on a front view. I know it's a little harder, but now I can start putting the fan on. We are in the truck now, and as you can see, the truck is running. Temperature is probably about a little bit over 150 degrees. The thermostat did open already. I did put some more coolant in there, and that's why the temperature fell back down because it's cold water, or cold coolant, whatever you want to call it. But we did use 50/50. I did have another container, and I put the whole gallon that I had and about another 3/4 of a gallon in there. And I did fill the reservoir up to the hot mark as well, because it is hot on the upper radiator hose and lower radiator hose. But I guess this is probably going to conclude it. We're going to kind of keep an eye on everything, make sure nothing's leaking, which I don't see any leaks as it is. I'm going to wash the bottom of the engine off from where all the coolant spilt on it, and I'm going to get him to come back in a few days just so I can check it, just to be safe, because he does live probably 10 minutes away from it. It ain't that bad of a drive where I can swing by there and check it for him. But like I said, it's probably going to conclude the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. If I did anything wrong, let me know. And like y'all know, I got the Instagram, the Patreon, all that stuff. I got the shirts, hats, stickers. Same things I always say. If you enjoyed the video, hit all the buttons, the like, subscribe, notification bell as well. And y'all remember, torque this tight, and y'all have a great day.